Therapy's Better Health, where we go beyond surface success to uncover the soul stories that transform lives. I am your host, Shreya. Today's guest, Shannon Michelle, was one of the LA's top interior designers, living a life many dream, but a near death experience flipped her world upside down. Followed by a traumatic brain injury and a battle with breast cancer, her journey of healing, rediscovery, and profound resilience will move you, challenge you, and just might lead you to your own miracle. So, welcome, Shannon. I'm honored to have you on my show.
Thank you. I'm honored to be here. It's my morning.
Thank you for your kind words. And, Shannon, let take us back to the moment when everything changed. What was going through your heart and mind when you woke from your coma?
Wow. I could only tell you that I can remember certain moments of that, but because of the traumatic brain injury, I have been told different stories about waking up and what I said and what I did. So I would say that within the beginning stages of being brought out of the coma, I really don't recall because my brain was so in repair that I can't, I can't remember. I don't even remember being in the hospital. I don't remember even there's moments of the nursing hospital, but I don't have very distinct memories of coming out of the coma. But I would say that once my brain started rebooting and reworking, um, I would I would feel I would feel sad. I would feel frustrated because I would wake and then, from what I've been told, do things on repeat, say the same things, and not realize that I had just said that 3 minutes ago. I had just asked the same question 5 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. So it took a long time for that recovery. But I think once I started getting in that mode, which was maybe within a year after my accident, um, I could do things to remember who I that that part of my brain is still very limited. I deal with short-term memory loss, and I have I have found a way to get comfortable not remembering everything.
Yeah.
And that was very difficult. I think that was one of the biggest transitions and like heartbreaking moments when I could not remember anything. That to be a person who could do everything and then do nothing physically and mentally, that was overwhelming.
Yes, yes. And that unraveling of self, it's terrifying and freeing all at once, isn't it?
Yes. Yes, very much. If you allow it to be, because not everybody allows it to be inspiring. And that's the thing that I want to hopefully be able to share with others, that
Yeah.
we don't choose all of our choices, but we choose how we love ourselves, and that tells us how we can love others, and to come to a place that I needed to learn, that I
Yeah.
learned from my accident.
Yes, yes. Thank you for sharing your story. And did your former identity as a designer, achiever, creator feel lost in that moment?
Oh yes. Yeah, it was gone. It was it was it was like it felt like everything had been taken from me, and I was just struggling to get things back. And when I would remember who I was or what I had or what I did, including I have a daughter, and, like, just coming back to a point where I felt like I had put so much caused so much pain for others, and that I had lost so much that I had built, that those were really, like, the hardest parts of transitioning from this one person to this other person. And I just had to do it every day. I just would wake up and I would just say, okay, birds are singing, and whatever point I was in my recovery, I would just say, okay, I can walk down the street today, or I'm gonna walk my dog today. I mean, some basic stuff. And I had to get comfortable being a child again,
Yeah.
yeah. So I don't know if that answered your question.
You answered that beautifully, and thank you for sharing all this. And also, you had to relearn how to move, how to think, and live. What did that process teach you about the body and mind's ability to heal?
That we are so powerful in our self-care if we let ourselves self-care, and get care from around. I mean, it's a full circle, but I think it starts with we are more capable than we could ever imagine, and we have to just believe in ourselves. And then if it's a bad day, be okay with it being a bad day and starting over and doing it over the next day, and giving your time and your space freedom from judging yourself. I think
Yeah.
that's crucial, is to not judge who you are or what you're doing, and just keep trying to stay present, which is a part of the book, that I was sharing, that the only way that I was able to come back at, on any level, considering all the trauma I had been through, was my self-love and my self-care, and staying present, and just this moment right now with you is my life. That's it. Not what happens later, not what happened yesterday, but only right now. And I have to find a lot of wisdom and strength within staying in this moment. And I think that alone, anybody can learn to do for themselves. They can change their lives, their perspective, yeah, their insight. Yeah.
I think it's so powerful how the tiniest signs of progress can awaken massive relief. And
Yes.
uh, was there a moment that sparked hope where you thought maybe I can do this?
Yes, I think there were many. Most of my hope came from, at the beginning, came from, the people around me that were taking care of me, because I was not capable of doing a lot. But I had hope when, honestly, little things like I would sit in bed and I would wake up and I would have small goals for myself. Like when I was learning not to remember, but just to walk, or just to be out of pain, because I was in a lot of pain for a while. And I would wake up and I would just hear the birds outside my window, and they felt like they were there so often and all the time. And I found hope in knowing that there was life outside my bedroom. And I would listen to the birds, and then that made my day. And I found a lot of relief in that moment. And that was a big one for me, just listening. Birds were the key for me. I made my friends and my daughter put more bird feeders out around, because they're around my house. I literally was like, "I want them closer, I wanna see them." And hanging bird feeders, which for some people, they don't have to hang bird feeders to see them so often, but in Los Angeles, it's a big city, and they're here, but they need to be coaxed to come close. Yeah.
This is so beautiful the way you said it. And how did your battle with breast cancer shift your spiritual or emotional lens on healing?
Oh, that was huge. That was huge. I had been through, so I don't know whoever's watching, I had been through traumatic brain injury, coma for a few months. Every part of my body was broken. You name it. It was like every part of this human body was in pieces. And I was surviving and getting through and getting better. And then about a year later, I get a diagnosis of breast cancer. And I just as I just did, I laughed because I was like, everything I just went through, cancer. And I thought to myself, cancer. And my daughter was like, Mom, you need to stop worrying about the brain recovery and the body recovery, and you need to work on the cancer because that could take you. And my own daughter, who's now 21, is the one that had to have me refocus on something that could destroy me and can destroy the concept of me being taken. And she had to put perspective on making it a serious issue. And I remember at first her telling me that, and I kind of shook my head and thought, I'll be okay. And then I went in and had surgery and had, you know, the layers of stuff that they have you do, which the first one was removal. And then, I ended up, going in and they're like, oh, you're stage one and blah, blah, blah. And it's simple. And then they went in and it wasn't simple and it was much worse. And they had to close me back up and they had to ask more, like they had to ask for more, I don't know what the words are, but basically approval to do a next step, which for me was that I had had small breast implants and one was connected to it and they couldn't just take that out without asking. So they had to close me back up and then ask me if it's okay and then put me back in for surgery number two. Like, I don't remember how many weeks later. So two surgeries, much more severe. And that was a wake up call. They tell you it's, going to be stage one and okay. And then a wake up call of like, oh, it can also not be okay. And you have to deal with that too. And that put me in a state of fear and crying and overwhelmed and taking it serious. Like I had to wake up, like Shannon, just because you've been through the worst imaginable accident you can imagine, you can still have bad shit happen. And excuse my, I, I sometimes use cuss words. You can have things happen to you, even though you have survived everything else. And that perspective changed my life on top of the other stuff. But it was that just because you've been through so much doesn't mean you can't go through more. And I think that there was a weight to how much you can go through. But I think until you understand that there's never too much and you self accept that nothing's ever done and over, and you give yourself the freedom to understand that about yourself, then you're able to release and let go of stress and anger. And that's what that was a huge trauma, scarce, scared, but it taught me. My breast cancer taught me to not lose faith in myself, but also to not believe that bad things can't happen. And for me, again, everybody's different, but that's what I needed to learn. And I think that cancer has something to tell people sometimes. A little bit a little bit of a wake up call, like knocking at the door, better self-care, um, helping others, guide them and how they can help you. I mean, there's layers to me that cancer brought into my life, and I'm glad it's gone and it's gone for now. And I that's the good news is I just
Yes.
did a CT scan again and everything still looks good. And I'm about, I can't remember, a year and a half later. And, you know, that's amazing news. So that's the good news to share with everybody.
Yes, yes. Congratulations for your health. That would you're keeping up better. And there is something so raw and holy about these battles. They strip us down to the truth. And
Yes.
also from luxury design to helping others step into their miracle. What was the bridge between those worlds for you?
Ooh, that's a great question. um, I Because of everything that I do remember, because I don't have a memory of my accident, so I'm grateful for that, but I do have a memory, and it's in my book, of being mid-state and being held in a way that it's hard to put words around, but I was what I would, people have different ways to describe it, but I felt like I was floating in between, moving on, which was this just light, bright, kind place, or going back to my body. And that was very messy. And from that, and I have a distinct memory of that. I have a distinct memory of being what I would call being held to come back into my body. And that moment, and I don't think it was one moment because I don't know how many times I had repeat of this, but I understood that we have, again, a lot of moments where our heart gives us insight to be the best we can be. And that moment that I found while being mid-state, and again, I might be better terms for you to use other than mid-state, but basically not in my body, but still not past completely. And, um, and and that memory made me understand that, again, no matter what happens to us, we're going to be okay. And that I was given a chance to come back into my body and come back to this and care for my daughter and care for myself. And that's a miracle. I am a miracle on so many levels, like on top, and then the breast cancer and I like the layers that I'm sitting here today being able to share this all with you and hopefully help others. That's my goal. I just want people to know that you, in the points in which you don't know how to lead your life through trauma, try to just stay present. And that's the miracle that I feel like I brought back as well, is to teach people how to stay present, because that's a really beautiful place to be, even when it's messy, even when it's broken, even when it's full of cancer. It's the best place for you to be, is right here, and take care of your heart. And then you have all that to give to others.
Yes, yes. I think that's something so many can relate to, that mourning who we were and embracing who we are becoming. And
Yes.
for the listeners who are going through something life shattering, what is one practice or mindset that helped you reclaim yourself?
I think it's exactly what we were just talking about. The only way that I was able to both emotionally and physically get back is staying present. So I would just tell every listener, whatever that is. I'll give you an example. Like, I would have to learn to stay present instead of worry or feel my pain or be concerned with how it's affecting others. I had to be like, okay, Shannon, no, today, okay, you're going to make yourself a cup of tea. You're going to get up and you're going to walk your dog. And that was, again, whatever day that was, whatever it was that would help me stay present and not worry about what could happen, but just be present. That's to me, the only way that we can survive trauma is just to just know, even though it's painful, this is just today. And then it's tomorrow. And then that's just tomorrow. And try to stay in a smaller container, your life, to be present, present, present. This moment, this moment. Am I thirsty? Do I need coffee? Do I have to go pee? Like core basic stuff. That's all you should think about. What makes you happy, what makes you survive is and thrive is staying present.
Yes, yes. An invitation to hope, even in darkness, might be the most healing and medicine for all. And what
Yes.
would you say to someone who can't see their way to a miracle?
That's I want people to know that's a normal place to be. And it's normal to feel like you're not going to get better. It's normal to feel like this will not change. Just understand that those feelings, we all have them. And the only way that we can get on the other side of that is to stay present. And so today, say to yourself, in this moment, what will bring joy to me? That's all. Like, what this moment, if somebody's watching this and they get done watching this and then they just sit there and they meditate in a state of like, okay, I'm breathing, I'm breathing, I'm breathing. That's good enough. And giving yourself enough space to feel good about breathing, peeing, drinking a cup of tea, like whatever it is, some basic, keep things as basic as you can and don't worry about the rest because that stuff will happen and come. And you need to just be here. Just be here the best you can be. That that will bring you joy and that will help you survive.
Yes. Thank you for
How
sharing all your.
Yeah. Can I ask you, are there
Yeah.
things for you that you do on a daily basis that are helpful for you? And I was just wondering, I'm doing a lot of talking and I was curious.
So, what I do when I wake up, I just say good affirmations and I just stand in front of the mirror and say good things for me that
Mm.
I just accept the way I am and uh nothing that no complaints and everything and I just manifest that it will be a good day for me and I will do all my works and I will help others and all those things. I just do all the affirmations and at the end of the day I just do meditation and stay focused and calm and then go to sleep.
Yes, I love it. I love
So
it.
small ritual I just do every day. And thank you for sharing your story, your experience, your knowledge, everything. And thank you for speaking up with all your experience. And if my listeners want to connect with you, then what's the best way?
Oh, yes, please, because I forget things sometimes. So I am now an author. I wrote a book and it's called Step Into Your Miracle. And I have a website, stepintoyourmiracle.com. And I would love for any of you to buy my book. it's on it's at this point it's on Amazon. I'm assuming you can buy that there. But yes, I have a website and please look at it because it tells my story and it tells about my recovery and what I find is helpful. And please send an email with any questions. I would love to talk to all of you because I'm an open book and I love sharing, I hope, as much of my goodness with others. So my website is www.stepintoyourmiracle.com.
And I will make sure to attach all the details and links below so that the listeners can find him easily and get in touch with you and have a talk with you, because you are a wonderful person and you are so energetic the way you share your stories and everything, and so positively. It's so beautiful. And to all my listeners, Shannon Michelle's story reminds us that the miracle isn't just surviving, it's becoming. Whether you are the midst of your storm or standing in the quiet after, may her story inspire you to believe in your own rebirth. You can rise, you can rewrite, you can step into your own miracle. Until next time, stay brave, stay tender, and keep healing forward.